Alright, this video is going to show you how to create a requisition on MyILIF. So I'm already at the MyILIF page, so I'm going to go ahead and log in here. And once we're logged in, we're going to go ahead and click on the Staff tab. And then over on the left, we're going to click on Requisitions. Now there's two ways that you can get to create a new requisition. The fastest and easiest way is down here under the Requisitions New section, is just to click on the green Make New Request. Alternatively, you could click on Requisitions New here and get to the same page. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Make New Request. And this will start us out where we can enter in our details. So I'm going to put in a test item. I'm going to say one quantity and for $50. I'm going to say it's shipped in a box. And down here, number 2 is where you will choose your charge to. So if you click on the budget account drop down, it will list your GLs. Now take note, your GLs will look differently depending on which staff member you are. So I'm going to go ahead and just say that this one is AV supplies, for example. And definitely put in a description. The business office really wants descriptions in here, so always do this. Now this is required even though it is not marked with the red star, but add supporting documentation. That is where you will go ahead and add your invoices. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Add Supporting Documentation. Now if you're on a Windows computer it will look different, but go ahead and simply browse to wherever your invoice is saved. So on my Mac I'm going to hit Browse and I'll choose my invoice out of my Downloads folder. And once you have selected that file, go ahead and hit Save. And then you know that your files have been imported if they list over here, so you should see your file name. If you run into any problems attaching a PDF, please try and save it as a shorter name. A lot of times the names are too long. I'm not exactly sure what the limit is, but try shortening the name and that should fix it. So next you could say done, proceed to checkout, or if you had another item to add, you could say save and add another. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So I'm going to say save, add another, and I'm going to say test item number 5. I'm going to say that there were 4 of these at $20. I'm going to charge it to the same GL and the next description. So now that I have this information entered, I'm going to go ahead and say done, proceed to checkout. And what this does is it will list all of the items that we've done on the previous screens. So you can see that here. Now the request name is basically the name of your PO, so when you see it on MyILIF that's what it will show as. So I'm going to do Will's test PO 314 for the date. And one thing to really note is approval track here is required, even though it is not marked as such, but for the business office it is. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Information Technology since that's where I'm at. And vendor is also required. So if you knew the vendor ID you could put it in here, or if you have to look them up you can click on Search. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Search. And let's pretend that this one came from 4 Winds Interactive. So I'm going to go ahead and start typing 4, and I'm just going to let it sit. Now it sometimes can take a minute to populate, but if you just start to type in your search, just give it a second. You don't have to hit enter or anything like that. Just start to type and it will appear. And now I see 4 Winds Interactive, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And once I select them and hit OK, it automatically adds that vendor ID right there. Now if you had any other supporting documentations or notes, you could add a comment or add another file here. Typically this is what the business office uses, but if you had additional information they needed, go ahead and put it here. But the invoices, remember, are on the page before. So you have 2 options. You could submit for approval or save and submit later. So I'm going to go ahead and say submit for approval. And that will give us some approval information here. It's been successfully submitted, waiting on Kelly to approve it. So I'm just going to say go ahead and close and go back, or if you had another requisition you could click on this link to start another one. So if I click close and go back, it takes me back to the Requisitions New page, and I can see some of my test POs are right here waiting for pending, and then there's another one here that I did not have an approver track on, so I automatically approved. But that's basically it. Email the help desk or call us if you have any questions. Take care.